And the green flag is waving. We're underway at Nashville Superspeedway.
Lots to sort out here. Paul Ellison already looking to the inside of John Kay through turns 3 and 4. Not going to be able to make it work that time. We're going to see a lot of passing attempts down there in turn 3, though, throughout the night as we continue to roll along. Into turn 3.
Whoa! Oh, no! Big contact there.
No!
Oh, this is going to get bad, 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 bad. Oh, my. It doesn't take much.
Just trying to respond, slow down, and there's a neck code contact between him and Ellison. And Ellison bounces off Poliski right down into Jan Van Leer. Then people trying to get checked up, just not working out. Gunter gets punted into Ellison by Schlosser. It's a hard hit for Schlosser as well. Damage to the front of Ryan Dye. McKinnon was involved. Palalotta, like you mentioned, may be done for the night as well. I mean, for just a small little mistake from Poliski, it turned into a big incident.
Nathan Reynolds and Chad Stern still up front. John Kay in a throwback livery. More on that as we roll along. He restarts at third. Matt Schlosser still to his outside despite piling into that crash. Back underway. John Kay underneath Chad Stearns. Not quite clear, but he has the second position headed into 3.
Wow, Kay wasting no time. Kind of runs Stearns a little bit high there into turn number 3, but no harm, no foul. Gets the pass made as well.
He's half a lap away from finally getting his first win of the season in the books. It was the same spot he was in last season, or last time we came here in Season 5. He picked up his first win of the season here, and he'll do it again here in Season 7. After 3 seconds, it's finally a P1 for the points leader, Nathan Reynolds. John Kay, finally on the podium. A P2, and a well-deserved one for Kay. Chad Stearns, 3 podiums in a row.
Finally back to the old ways for these two, going back to last season. A 1-2 finish. We saw quite a few of those from these two in Season 6 and now again in Season 7.
A blind knight that uses echolocation, viewing the dark, treacherous world through sound. Trapped in a dungeon deep, endangered by combatants, where hazards lurk around every corner. Make sound to have vision, or don't and be stealthy. Avoid impaling threats throughout the dungeon to escape. Engage with other prisoners.
Rogue Knight I've been hearing about. Could you find the key and unlock my cell?
Free them to fight back with more allies.
Let's take this guy.
The Dungeon Labyrinth has many paths and even more traps. Struggle through the darkness to find your freedom.
Presentation. It's hard to believe that halfway into the 90s round number 8, 7th Truck Series, it takes place here at Dover. Final race before the holiday break. Concrete tracks. Tonight's run for the holiday 5 months mile time the Venom has taken to Ibanks Dover. One of 4 tracks to 5 times. Welcome to the show here on Turn 2. It's just Tommy Coe. I'm Matt Williams. Out celebrating the holidays with family, guiding you through a very eventful night of racing at Dover. After 3-time and defending series champion Nathan Reynolds finally got the monkey back and snagged that first win of the season last week at Nashville. He has opened up his by quite a bit heading into tonight. Now 56 points ahead of contender Tyler Logan. Excellent job here. Late finish outside of the top 20 away. Title contender at this point of the season. Finished outside of the top 10 one time all of this season. Tyler Logan going to be a force to reckon with down the stretch here. Chad Stearns third in the points. Steve Roman in fourth. Will Salamone and Matt Schlosser tied for fifth. Schlosser on a bit of a skid right now. Looks to try and overcome that here at the conclusion of tonight's race. Nathan Paluota, Bertie Gunter, Andy Poliski, the Season 5 champion down in ninth. Jan Van Leer is down in the 10th position. And this is the 5th time we've been to Dover in the Venom Truck Series. Our previous 4 races here have seen 4 different winners. Jeff Langston in 1, Ryan Dye in Season 2, Andy Poliski in Season 4, Nathan Reynolds last season. Reynolds probably has to be the favorite heading into tonight, coming off a win at another concrete track last week. On top of last week's win and his win here last season, he's also led the most laps at Dover in series history, over 200 to be exact. On the race trend side of the coin here, we've combined for 11 cautions in our 4 races. 4 cautions apiece in seasons 2 and 4 is the highest in a single race. The last 2 races in this current season's Concrete Tour have seen a series record 20 cautions at Bristol, followed by just 1 caution and well over 100 consecutive green flag laps of racing last week in Nashville. So the trends are just sort of all over the place in terms of cautions here of late. And one final thing, and the most important thing to touch on here before we get rocking and rolling tonight, are some of the paint schemes that we've got on track. This race is titled the Military Service Members Home for the Holidays 145, and a lot of the colors and insignias of the branches of the United States Armed Forces are on the track here and represented here tonight. And we're going to start with this tour with, on track here, had John Kay out on the track. Cameras to cooperate. John Kay honoring his grandfather with a U.S. Navy paint scheme here tonight. Great looking truck for him. Who else we got? Nathan Paluota is on the track. He will honor the U.S. Army 372nd Engineer Brigade and his cousin Wayne Paluota here tonight with his paint scheme. Paul Ellison is out on track. He is running a U.S. Navy-themed truck in honor of his papa, World War II veteran, Petty Officer 2nd Class Arcel Durham, who will be celebrating his 102nd birthday tomorrow. Paul says he's still sharp as a tack. So happy birthday to Petty Officer 2nd Class Arcel Durham, and a big day of celebration tomorrow for the entire Ellison family, I'm sure. Searching around, Andy Poliski will be running a United States Air Force livery on the car here tonight in honor of his father, who spent 20-plus years in the Air Force. Several other drivers also are running paint schemes. They're not on track. We will try to highlight them as tonight rolls along. And it is just about that time to get to tonight's starting grid for 145 laps around Dover Motor Speedway here tonight. And on the pole, who else would it be other than Nathan Reynolds? That is pole number 27. That's his 5th or 6th of the season. Ridiculous number, Nathan Reynolds, and front once again. Starting to his outside, driver that needs bounce back was second in the points just a couple of races ago, but Brody Gunter is on a skid. He will start in P2. He ran incredibly well here at Dover last season and picked up his first career Venom Truck Series podium here. Tyler Logan, second in the points. Coming into tonight, he will start in third. Paul Ellison will start to his outside. Garrett Rainey and Eric Breeding out on row number 3. Steve Froman and Nathan Palawota on row number 4. Palawota was awfully fast in practice. John Kay and Chad Stearns finished second and third in last week's race. They start on row number 5 here tonight. Match Losser also running a special paint scheme. We'll try and point it out as the race rolls along. He starts in 11th next to Zach Lockett. Great starting spot for driver number 35. Then further back, Ryan Dine, Luke Peterson on row number 7. Kyle Zill, Jan Van Leer, Andy Poliski, Paul Sargent, Will Salamone, and Kyle Dumick. Through the top 20 starters, 29 drivers here tonight with the Venom Truck Series. That is how the rest of the starting grid looks. Looking for track conditions. Cannot quite find the button here. Yeah, this is usually Matt Williamson's job. He is off celebrating the holidays, so I get to be a little bit pokey here and try and figure out how to limit our software. It doesn't always go to plan. Blinky Roberts back in the field, says he's only going to do 1 lap, so we'll have that to not look forward to, I guess. Thank you to Cole Maxwell and to 06 Champ for hanging out with us already. Pretty sizable crowd watching here tonight. Appreciate everybody hanging out with us here as we roll towards the holidays. And Nathan Reynolds and Brody Gunter roll towards the restart zone. We are underway at Dover. Good start right off the rip here for Reynolds. He is off and away, side by side for third. Logan on the bottom, Ellison on the top. Lap 1 goes to Reynolds. P3 goes to Ellison. Gunter's staying right in line here with Reynolds. Concrete Tour has not been kind to Brody Gunter. Running out front at Bristol, got caught up in an accident from the lead. And was running towards the front in Nashville last week. Got caught up in an accident on lap number 2. Made an early exit. Right now, in the second position. It's Tyler Logan early on the slide backwards here. This is Garrett Rainey now making the pass and move Garrett Rainey up to 4th. But a lot of drivers say you need something in the bank here for the long runs. Is Logan fading or is this Logan saving? We'll have to find out. John Kay and Eric Breeding battling. And the bottom. Breeding running a U.S. Army paint scheme. So is the man that's approaching him, Nathan Palawota. Top 2 still in lockstep with one another. If Reynolds were to make a mistake, which has not made many here in Dover, Gunter would be right here to pounce. Pretty much how it looked last season as well. It was right behind Reynolds for the majority of this race. Paul Ellison closing in as well. Jeremy McKinnon, yes, in the chat, right front tire will win out here. Fuel window for this race, around a 90 to 100 laps, somewhere in there. But you are not looking at the fuel window unless we're under caution late in this one. It is all about saving tires here and keeping yourself in a good defensive position around the track. Gunter has found his way through Reynolds' defenses. Can he make the pass stick? Not quite yet. Reynolds hanging on here. Maybe trying to make Gunter use up a little bit more of his equipment than he's comfortable with in the opening laps here. 10 laps complete, working lap number 11. A couple of drivers on their way up through the field. Kyle Zittel looking to crack the top 10. He's up 4 spots. John Kay in the top 5. He's up 4 spots. Andy Poliski has one here in Dover. Says the concrete has not been kind to him. Wait. He has just made a pass on Chad Stearns, and he is up 4 spots. Back in 16th. Look at this mess behind Michael Dean. Michael Dean is up 9 positions to start this one. Gunter still separated by less than a truck length here. John Kay's just made the pass on Garrett Rainey to move up to 4th. So Kay, after getting a pep in his step, finally getting a podium last week at Nashville Super Speedway, says he was going to throw in the towel if he didn't get a good result at NSS. He got it. He earned it. And now, a rejuvenated, revitalized John Kay here, tracking down his teammate Paul Ellison, trying to get back onto the podium. Tyler Logan, after getting passed by Rainey a few laps ago, he is now back past. Here is John Kay looking to get around Ellison. Moved up the bottom just a little bit there, but gets the job done. So move John Kay up to 3rd. Paul Ellison back to where he started, P4. Bit of separation now from Reynolds back to Gunter. We'll keep monitoring the battle for the lead here. As Tyler Logan now, after spending the first 10 laps, falling back just a bit. Logan is on his march back forward here, working on Ellison. Logan a 25th place finish at USA in the 3rd round of the season. And that is his only finish outside of the top 10 for the rest of season 7. It has been an electric rookie season here for Tyler Logan. Been a threat to win races a couple of different times, but most of the time has just been pretty comfortable, 6th to 10th. But his time has come, especially with how well he's been running of late. Side by side, speaking of another rookie driver lighting up this season, 1 win already for Matt Schlosser. He is side by side with Steve Vroman. This is for 7th. Now Vroman gets it done. And it's Schlosser and last season's rookie of the season, Nathan Paluoda now. gap from Gunter now up to Reynolds. A little over a second. Go back to the Hornets' nest here. Schlosser and Palamoda. Ahead of them, Froman and Rainey battling side by side. Top down to the bottom there for Palamoda. Palamoda now with a huge run. Clears Rainey, now working on Froman. Just ahead of Roman here is Paul Ellison. So a lot of sorting left to do here. 23 laps complete. 22 laps complete. Reynolds, Gunter, Kay, Logan, and Ellison in the top 5. This is Ellison under fire here from Steve Roman. In the mix here now as well. This is to move into the top 5. So trying to keep Roman down on the bottom, but Roman finds his way up in front of Ellison. And now Palamoda moving underneath of Ellison, and that pass may be all done and dusted. Oh boy, tight quarters. Ellison and Schlosser. So Ellison has gone from 5th to 7th here in the last lap. Schlosser under fire from Kyle Zittel, who's up 6 spots. Andy Poliski up 7, just behind. Zittel, the only driver to my knowledge in the field here tonight, running a Coast Guard scheme. Luke Peterson. Quite a few of the drivers who were in the practice session last night said Peterson is going to be the one to watch here in the long run. He certainly was in last season's race here. Peterson up a couple of spots, has been biding his time. He's just outside of the top 10 here as they battle away in front of him. Poliski past Zittel, now working on Ellison. That is a great looking Coast Guard truck. Unfortunately, he just found himself in the spot above him there in the middle of 3 wide. Rolled out of it. There's Peterson on his outside. Chad Stearns on his inside. Stearns, another driver who is noted for being a long-run driver, is just now getting back to where he started this race. Should be good pace here, just outside of the top 10. Taking a look back up front. Gunter. Gary Clark in front of him, then a ways back to John Kay. About 3.5 seconds between Kay and Gunter. Race leader Nathan Reynolds, about a 1.2 second lead over Gunter. So Brody hanging around, but Reynolds has opened up that gap. Tyler Logan sort of out in no man's land right now. He's about 3 seconds ahead of Steve Roman here, who is in 5th. He and Palamoda have found some separation to all of the madness that is continuing behind them. Palamoda 6, Schlosser at 7. Now Andy Poliski up 9 spots already to the 8th position. Luke Peterson +4 to 9th. Stearns now back to where he started at 10th. Our charger of the race right now has climbed his way all the way up to 14th. Michael Dean. Paul Ellison on the slide through the field. The next up for Dean. 140 consecutive green flag laps dating back to last week. Only one caution at Nashville Speedway. Everything started here. These drivers did a great job navigating after some early season troubles with cautions. May still be a possibility here tonight. It is the Monster Mile, after all. A good start to the race here. Palawoda still within a couple of truck lengths of one another here. His lap number 34 goes up on the board. Wow, that was a save there from Cole Maxwell. Great timing. Maxwell said he wanted a little TV time tonight, so we'll give it to him. He is back up to where he started. Just made that pass on Kenneth Graves, 21st. Long train developing here behind Matt Schlosser from 7th on to about 11th and 12th. It's all in line right here. Schlosser in the middle here. Poliski sticking to the bottom. Schlosser just needs a good result tonight. Picked up some heavy damage. Caution last week in Nashville Speedway happened on the back foot. Struck down to a tie for 5th in the standings after being as high as 2nd. Palawoda and Froman working each other over here. Of course, these two spent a lot of time side by side with one another at the Terms of Multi-Class Charity match last Saturday night. A lot of bumping and banging there in their final lap. As Chad Stearns has now gotten around Andy Poliski. A bit out of sorts here. Schlosser and Stearns able to run the bottom pretty well here. A lot of drivers were touting this diamond maneuver in practice that you sort of see Poliski make here. And that is rough on the tires, to say the least. So that is one you want to say for a special occasion. Poliski realizing what he's doing here, maybe running it out of necessity here to try and keep some pace. Stearns and Schlosser are starting to pull away a bit. Here is Stearns underneath Schlosser to try and move up to 7th. A nose out ahead for the 0-5, and Chad Stearns is now clear into 1. So moves Stearns up to P7. Quick peek up to Froman and Palawoda once again. Palawoda trying that diamond maneuver there, but Froman able to gap him just a bit. Still Nathan Reynolds leading. Brody Gunter in 2nd, but he has closed the gap just marginally. Just outside of a 2nd behind the race leader. John Kay in 3rd, Tyler Logan in 4th. Froman in 5th, Palawoda in 6th, Chad Stearns then in 7th. It's Matt Schlosser in 8th. Luke Peterson has just gotten past Andy Poliski. Poliski fighting back. They are in 9th and 10th. Kyle Zittel in 11th. Ryan Dye in 12th. Michael Dean in 13th. Salamoni in 14th. And Paul Elston slid all the way back to 15th. Rough opening stretch here for driver 55. 16th, Mark Dillon Jr. 17th, Garrett Rainey in 18th, Zach Lockett has dropped back to 19th. Brandon Gainey plus 7 up to 20th. As here he is now in the battle for 8th. Peterson working over Schlosser. Zittel back underneath of Poliski. About 10 or 15 laps since Poliski passed Zittel, and now the decent one is trying to repay the favor of Season 5 champ. Nathan Palawoda has finally found his way around Steve Roman. Just a couple of laps ago into turn number 1. It's a nice job. Peterson going to clear Schlosser this time through 3 and 4. Poliski and Zittel still duking it out. Oh, that was Michael Dean. I don't know if he kept it out of the inside wall or not. No, he did not. Wow. That was Ryan Dye that got into it. They were battling inside the top 10 there. Gonna move ahead on this one. Oh. Wow, Dean did keep it out of the inside wall there until there. Still impressive work. As some pit stops already, lap 49, and John Kay is on pit road. He gives up the 3rd position to be the first one into the pits. And we were wondering, we knew tires were premium tonight and not fuel. When we were going to see drivers on pit road, and that answers the question. Lap 49, John Kay, always the undercutter. Question is, who else will be pitting soon? Nathan Reynolds mired in some lap traffic. Pit in here at Dover, for anybody that doesn't know, is absolutely miserable. Not fun even a little bit. Tyler Logan, Luke Peterson, Kyle Zittel all on pit road now. Logan from 3rd, Peterson and Zittel from inside the top 10. Ryan Dye, Eric Breeding also down pit road. As we await now Reynolds and Gunter. They had a bit of a buffer back to John Kay and Tyler Logan. But I would imagine they don't want to be hanging around for too much longer as, I think that was Kenneth Graves, mentioned how miserable that pit road entry is. It's an impossible angle, and then you have to slow down to 35 miles an hour. It's just all around not very fun. John Van Leer, Michael Dean on pit road. Top 3 now, Reynolds, Gunter, and Palawoda, Chad Stearns, and Steve Roman. Schlosser in now. Nathan Reynolds has led every single lap thus far. This field is all jumbled up. Steve Roman down pit road this time. Steve Roman honoring his grandfather, the United States Navy paint scheme. here comes the race leader, Nathan Reynolds. Oh boy! Wow! I have no idea if he made it in on speed or not, but I mean, that was incredibly close to the barriers there. Take a look at this. Locked him up. I mean, it does not get closer than that. Brody Gunter yet to come down pit road. Now here he comes, and he is locked up big time as well. Unfortunately, with this software, I have no idea if people pick up black flags or not. Normally in the software that I run, when I'm not streaming, I'm able to relay that information to the viewer, but I have no idea if Reynolds or Gunter are in trouble here or not. Nathan Palawota on pit road as well. I would say the length of time that Reynolds spent on pit road, he did not pick up a penalty. We'll wait to see if Gunter is going to be in the same boat here. And he is away, so no penalties for the top two, but they cut it awfully close. So that gives control of the field now to Andy Poliski. Was caught up in a very early accident here last season in the thick of the title fight. The crash here at Dover pretty much took him out of the championship contention. He says he used to be the king of the concrete, and the statistics back that fact up. He says his fortunes have changed of late. He says he really wants to get back to his winning ways here with concrete tracks. And you know what? I can't say that I believe it. Tyler Bergert is on pit road. And hopefully this isn't one of my infamous turn 2 jinxes here. Tyler Bergert, through 7 races this season, has the least amount of incident points out of anybody that has run a majority schedule this season. So keep up the good work, Tyler Bergert. Gunter passing Poliski, unlapping himself here. Yet to see pit stops from Poliski, Gainey, or Ellison, the top 3. Was already one of the hard chargers before this pit cycle. It should be interesting to see where he is going to cycle out. This driver is going to be close to doing it in one stop here. That should mix things up. And some early troubles from Paul Ellison. That may be his only shot to salvage a decent finish out of tonight. Should mention as well, as we're waiting for these 3 to come down pit road, John Kay is cycled out ahead of Reynolds and Gunter. Cycled out by quite a bit here. Of course, Kay was on pit road about 2 or 3, actually about 5 or 6 laps before Reynolds and Gunter. So the undercut really worked quite nicely for John Kay. Reynolds and Gunter with fresher tires here. And the gap between them is about the same as it was as they came into pit. It's about 1.2 seconds, and it's still about 1.2 seconds, even as Gunter is navigating some lap traffic. Still battling pretty hard here, just inside and outside of the top 10. Ty and Will Salamone now battling for 11th. Dye lets Salamone by. Steve Roman back here. Now at 12th is Dye. By. points leader just in front of Roman here. His teammate, Andy Poliski. Poliski with Brandon Gainey not too far behind. His teammate, Michael Dean, is about to slip past and unland himself. I mentioned Ellison on a potential one-stop strategy. He has let John Kay go through. So Kay through to third outright without Ellison taking his pit stop. Ellison staying low, might be coming in this time. He dives down to the apron. So lap 71 is the number here for Ellison. Leave himself a little bit more on the back half of this race. So that just leaves Poliski and Gainey now. And Gainey now, just as quickly as he caught Andy Poliski, has started to fade away a bit. But Gainey already had a pretty impressive drive up through the field going before he decided to take it long. Gap is closed, pretty quickly here between John Kay and Nathan Reynolds for what will be the lead when the top two come to get their service. It's an impressive lead early for John Kay after the undercut, but the concrete starting to get its hooks in on Allstate John Kay. As here comes Andy Poliski and Brantley Gainey this time. So they give up the lead now to the aforementioned Allstate. The end from this one, John Kay. So the cycle looks like this for now. Kay, Reynolds, Gunter, Logan, and now Peterson in the top five. Zittel, Schlosser, Vroman, Salamoni, and Dye the top 10. As here is the move for Reynolds. He has got the pace. And it's an easy pickup for Reynolds to get back up to P1. And Kane quickly fading back to Brody Gunter. But the good news is another 7.5 seconds back to Tyler Logan in fourth, so Kay can relax for a little bit. Pit stops coming in probably another 15 to 20 laps here for John Kay. And Gunter clear. Look back a little bit to Kyle Zittel. Trying to track down Steve Vroman about half a second ahead. Zittel's got Matt Schlosser and Will Salamoni right behind. Salamoni already up 10 positions from where he started this race back in 19th. Love to crack off a few more. Our charger of the race is still Michael Dean, despite the incident there with Ryan Dye. Still right there together in 10th and 11th. This is the closest battle inside the top 15. Salamoni trying to work over Schlosser, who was trying to work over Zittel. While they're doing that, Vroman is scooting away from these three. When he showed up, it was about 0.6 of a second. Now it is a second. Not sure what happened to Nathan Palawota under this pit cycle, but he was right there with Steve Roman and actually passed him before the pit cycle. Palawota now marching back up through the field. He has just got past Michael Dean here to move up into 11th. We'll have Ryan Dye to get back into the top 10. Chad Stearns as well. Quite a bit of pace differential there. Stearns a bit longer. Into his first stint. He's reaping the rewards of that right now. Easy pass on Michael Dean. Palawota likewise. Back up around. Ryan Dye to get back into the top 10 at least for now. Chad Stearns moving like a house of fire here. Reynolds and Gunter. Still up front, that is Paul Ellison moving around. Also going to try his luck maybe on a one-stop strategy. John Kay is faded about 3 seconds behind Brody Gunter. Another 7 seconds behind Kay is Tyler Logan in 4th with Peterson. All by his lonesome in 5th. 4 seconds to Logan, 3 seconds back to Steve Roman. Michael Dean has just moved past Ryan Dye. That is for 12th. And Kyle Zittel trying to get some separation between him and Schlosser. Schlosser is still having to deal with Will Salamone, but they're both about to have to deal with Nathan Palawota and Chad Stearns. Stearns' first target here might be Palawota. He is right underneath the 6th. Does not waste any time. Driver coming up on them, has the freshest tires on the track, and wow, has to make quite the maneuver there. That was Andy Poliski. Poliski, the lap down, this is not for position. He has fresh tires, he's trying to use them up. Maybe that was a bit too much usage there. So that disrupts Chad Stearns a bit. Palawota's underneath Salamone. Poliski and Stearns will go through as well. Oh, Salamone tags the wall there a bit. What a mess here. And Poliski not for position. But we'll get through on Zittel. This is now Palawota on Schlosser to move up to 8th, and he will take it. Stearns moves right on through as well. Same as Poliski, Paul Ellison on fresher tires. Looking to pick through this bunch as well. Palawota up the track. Stearns underneath. Stearns with a nose ahead. Really nowhere to go right now. Bumper to bumper traffic. Zittel trying to cover off Stearns. His teammate. Palawota around the outside will take the spot from Zittel. So Palawota up to 7th. Stearns still boxed in. Gunter has cut the lead in half, 0.3 of a second between he and Nathan Reynolds as they try and pick their way through lap traffic. Reynolds underneath the former teammate there, and Ryan Dye. Dye gives him plenty of space. Gunter's done a nice job of tracking down Nathan Reynolds. They've lapped up to 13th. Michael Dean would make it 12th. Into the top 10 already. That gaggle we were just watching with Kyle Zittel, Ben Schlosser, Will Salamoni, and others are not too far ahead of Dean up here. So blistering pace being set. Again. It's the battle for 7th. This is Steve Roman who's ahead of it as well, so really the battle for 6 here. Ellison still on the fresher tires, still can't find his way through this group. Paluota underneath Steve Roman, trying to retake 6th. Who pit on the same lap as John Kay last time, has just come down pit road. So maybe we're. Oh boy, that was a huge hit there for Paul Ellison into the outside wall. Man. So Paluota loses a spot to Chad Stearns, who is now working over Steve Roman. And Stearns up to 6th. Andy Poliski right now the top driver, who is potentially on a one-stop strategy. He is in 18th when past Tyler Berger and Aaron Preedy. Seemingly unfazed after the contact. Trying to get through on Roman. Ellison, the other driver, along with Brantley Gainey, who's somewhere between these two, who is potentially on the one-stop strategy. And here comes some pit stops. ICR teammates Michael Dean and Jan Van Leer on pit road this time. Tyler Logan in as well from 4th. Chad Stearns, Steve Roman also in this time. Kyle Zittel as well. Here comes John Kay from 3rd. The undercut got him the lead last time. Will it work again? Reynolds and Gunter be quicker to answer here. Gunter with some traffic rolling through may not be able to duck down to pit road if he wanted to. Wow, that was a big moment there for Gary Clark. Wiggled up the track. Paul Sargent behind him is on fresh tires. Clark's still a bit out of sorts there. Zach Lockett is down pit road. Still awaiting Reynolds and Gunter. Mark Dillon Jr. He's coming down pit road here as well. Here's Reynolds. A lot more controlled on the entry this time. Doesn't want to take any chances here with a victory in sight. With 40 laps to go when they come back around to the line. Brody Gunter mired in traffic here. Trying to go one lap longer, at least. Gunter right down to the apron. Nathan Paluota also pit last time around. Gunter a lot more aggressive on entry. So was Ryan Dye. Reynolds will give the lead. Would have given the lead to Luke Peterson, but he is pitting this time as well. Next up will be Matt Schlosser. He bypasses pit road entrance, so it'll be Schlosser to P1. Waiting to see how Gunter is going to cycle out. There goes Nathan Reynolds. Reynolds, the blue car here on the top of the track. There's Gunter. So Reynolds with a bit of a gap with an earlier pit stop. But on the other hand, there's Andy Poliski and Paul Ellison. Already been passed by Reynolds and John Kay. So he's seemingly out of contention here for the win. Paul Ellison has let Reynolds past as well. So maybe just down to Andy Poliski here to see if the one stop is going to work. Or if indeed that is what Poliski has in mind. Matt Schlosser is still out on the track as well. Top 10 drivers are on the lead lap. A couple of them have yet to pit. A couple of them are off sequence. Get to see pit stops from Cole Maxwell and Kenneth Graves. And Gainey, Ellison, and Poliski presumably on the one-stop strategy. Get to see pit stop from the race leader as well. John Kay, again with the undercut, finds his way in front of just Gunter this time, not Reynolds. Gunter again moving into position to take second back here quickly. John Kay not letting it happen. Garrett Rainey is pitting this time. And here is Gunter underneath. And Gunter retakes fourth, but that will be second once everybody cycles back around. Caution free thus far here in Dover. An excellent job here tonight by all the drivers. What is a tricky test here. The Monster Mile, Dover Motor Speedway. Nathan Reynolds has led a lot of laps here tonight. Currently trying to track down Andy Poliski, who is only a truck length in front of him here. This will be for the lead. But Reynolds, much fresher tires. Poliski came into pit on lap 72. And Reynolds and Gunter quickly file past. Reynolds still not in the lead yet, as we have yet to see Matt Schlosser come down pit road. So Schlosser trying his luck here up front, hoping for a caution. If we do get a caution here late in the going, you would have to imagine that everybody is coming down pit road to get 4 fresh Dr. Feelgoods. So maybe that's what Schlosser is hoping for. He was hanging around the back half of the top 10 here before the pit cycle. So trying his luck to see if he can take another victory after winning in just his second career Venom Truck Series race. So for now, this is the battle for second, but this could very well be for the race win here. As Gunter, once again, has tracked down Nathan Reynolds. He's done that 2 or 3 times during the course of this event, but has yet to make that move and make that pass stick. Maybe a great opportunity. And Matt Schlosser has pit. So Reynolds now back in the lead. This is now the battle for the win. Oh, Gunter nudges into the wall there. Gunter found himself in this position a lot last season here at Dover, right behind Nathan Reynolds for most of the race. Even as John Kay, who was also running towards the front of this field, found himself in trouble. Gunter was right here with Reynolds. What ended up being his first career Venom Truck Series podium. He's since gone on to rack up a few more podiums and even a win at USA International earlier this season. There's no tougher task than uprooting Nathan Reynolds at a concrete track here in the Venom Truck Series. But he's got 26 laps to do it. Look at this mess in front of them. How are they going to pick their way through this? This is the battle for 8th. Stearns, Froman, and Peterson all in it here. Reynolds in it too. Peterson is satellite teammate to Reynolds. Will let him pass underneath. And will not give Gunter a ton of room here on corner exit. Bit of separation here now. A few truck lengths. It's underneath of Ellison now. Gunter catching these trucks all at the wrong time. Right on the corner exit when he needs to be powered down and focused forward. Have to work around lap traffic. Cost him some valuable track position. Inside of 20 laps to go. Top 8 drivers are on the lead lap. That is 8th place Steve Roman right now in front of Reynolds. Chad Stearns in 7th. Brendan Gainey Jr. right now in 6th. Tyler Logan in 5th. Andy Poliski in 4th. John Kay, Brody Gunter, and Nathan Reynolds. As Eric Breeding, slap of the wall right in front of Gunter. Oh, Roman into the wall right in front of Reynolds. Roman, a satellite teammate to Gunter. I would imagine he will let Gunter through pretty quickly, and yes, he will. And again, maybe not. He is fighting back. Gunter is losing out. That is a spot there for Roman, working underneath the Bradley Gate. So with Roman up to 7th. That has lost Brody Gunter some time here. 15 to go. Gunter is fading. He has 5.5 seconds back to John Kay, so not in danger of losing second. Certainly wants to be in the mix here for the win. Peterson and Roman battling hard here for 7th. Roman on the way backwards here. Peterson trying to take advantage. Nothing happening yet. Guns are now 7/10 to try and reel in Nathan Reynolds, who finally has some clear track ahead of him, just one lapper. And it's Chad Stearns who has kept himself in front of Reynolds here. It's really the first time that Stearns hasn't been battling this entire race. So it makes sense that he would finally have the pace to stay in front of Nathan Reynolds. He just hasn't had the clear track to work with this entire time. Clear track now for Brody Gunter as well. The deficit now is 0.8 of a second. Is that too much? Is Gunter worked his stuff over too hard? 12 laps to find out. Now make it 11. Roman and Peterson battling hard here. This is Tyler Bergert as well, back in 18th. It's 2 laps down, 1 lap down the battle here. Should we get a caution? Crucially, this is the battle for the lucky dog. If Roman has it, Peterson wants it. Bit of extra security. What late restart? Should we get one? Gap is stabilized right at 0.8 of a second. These two are running very similar lap times to one another. 24:21 for Reynolds last time by, a 24:17 for Gunter. So hundreds of a second quicker. Not a whole lot in the grand scheme of things. Check back to Tyler Logan in 5th. Andy Poliski never came back down pit road. So he is still on the same set of tires that he got on lap 71. So this is Logan going for another top 5 and another top 10. Trying to get past Andy Poliski. Say just about every week now, Tyler Logan having a sensational rookie season here in the Venom Truck Series. So he has that much to reel in Andy Poliski here and try and move up to 4th. Gap continuing to close here marginally, bit by bit. 0.6 of a second now, up to Nathan Reynolds. With 6 laps to go. Gunter seems to be better in the middle and exit. That's Paul Sargent ahead of Nathan Reynolds here. Stay up high. Four to go. Gap's still around 0.6 of a second. Gunter needs to make something happen fast. If we stay green, Gunter has got about a minute left. Logan again closing in on Poliski, about 0.3 of a second between them. Nathan Reynolds with that much of an advantage right now over Brody Gunter. Coming to the Illinois green here in Dover, 2 to go. Gave up about half a tenth there in 1 and 2. Did not roll the corner very well. Gunter is still alive here, coming to the white flag, but it needs to be perfect. After a win in the concrete last week at Nashville Superspeedway, his first win of the season, he makes it 2 in a row on the concrete tour. Nathan Reynolds, a winner again here at Dover. Brody Gunter closed the gap there marginally in the final laps. He'll finish 0.4 of a second behind in second. John Kay across the line. It is 2 podiums in a row, and there is hope in the 2 camp. Andy Poliski fends off Tyler Logan there in the final lap. Poliski in 4th, Logan in 5th, and Chad Stearns, the final driver on the lead lap, will finish in P6. As all the Alabama gang and Superkick Revival will line up here, as they have done, and oh, there goes Poliski into the mix here. Reynolds had a bit of a scary moment this morning from the sounds of it. Slipped on some ice and actually fell out of his real-life truck, since he picked up a whole host of minor injuries, as seems to be the trend here of late on turn 200. It's like all the best drivers are getting injured, especially in the hands and fingers for some reason. And Reynolds now can join that fray. So Reynolds will call it good. Celebration continues for the rest of the Alabama gang, but we'll go ahead and give you the full finishing rundown here. Caution-free race at Dover. That is the first caution-free oval race of the season here in the Venom Truck Series. First caution-free race at Dover here in series history as well. So nice job here tonight by all the drivers. Nathan Reynolds with the win. Brody Gunter will finish second. John Kay in third. We'll talk to all 3 of these gentlemen momentarily. Then it is Andy Poliski 4th, Tyler Logan in 5th, and Chad Stearns, the final driver in the lead lap, in 6th. Nathan Palawota will finish in 7th, Steve Roman in 8th, Luke Peterson and Brantley Gainey in 9th and 10th. Kyle Zittel just outside of the top 10 in 11th. Then it is 12th for Will Salamone. 13th place finish here tonight for Paul Ellison. 14th for Jan Van Leer. 15th Michael Dean. 16th for Matt Schlosser. P17 for Ryan Dye. 18th for Tyler Bergert. 19th for Zach Lockett, and rounding out the top 20 is Garrett Rainey. 21st for Eric Breeding. 22nd, Cole Maxwell. 23rd, Ryan Borboom. 24th for Paul Sargent. 25th, Kenneth Graves. 26th for Kyle Dumick. 27th for Gary Clark, Mark Dillon Jr. in 28th. And the only DNF here tonight was Flanky Roberts down in 29th. He followed through on his promise to only run 1 lap here tonight. So after 145 laps, it is another podium finish for the man they call the infamous one, Mr. John Kay. He will finish it up with 2 podiums in a row here tonight in Venom Truck Series competition. Well done, partner. Welcome back to the podium here.
Oh, it's good to be back. It got a little interesting there at the end. I don't know if you caught it or not,
I did
but
not.
yeah. Oh, well, yeah, it was fun. Go check out what happened taking the light. You know, just spinning again. Yeah, third place. Woo. Yay. I
Well,
don't know how.
at least the concrete tour is over for you here. Oh, we're watching it now. Yeah, that's yikes.
Yeah. Yeah,
How did we recover from that one?
Just straight up talent. I'd say, I'm just an absolute wheel man. Somebody should really put me in a real NASCAR. If I can fit my fat ass in there, it'd be great. But no, I'm just kidding. I'll be honest. A lot of spinning out because I am not a wheel man. I'm pissed I hit the wall though. It would have looked a lot cooler if I hadn't hit the wall, but I don't know. Got lucky. I was surprised again. I don't know what. I mean, I was just trying to click off laps, and Will got the run back on my outside, so I kind of had to check up so I didn't, door slam him because I'm a nice guy and almost lost third place. But hey, we'll take it. Beat Dover. Nice, feels good after last year. Last year kind of went down the shitter after Dover, well, during Dover and after Dover, so feels good. Sorry.
No, it feels good to conquer the Monster Mile for sure, especially with that, with how things ended last season. The undercut here tonight, knew that was probably going to be a difficult one to pull off, but you almost made it work. You're out front there for a little bit, ahead of Reynolds and Gunter. It's just, it's so hard to keep really the right front tire, but really any particular set of tires underneath you here at the concrete monster like this.
Yeah. I mean, the tires literally go on the truck horn. I swear to God, like it just, it's they're just wore out sitting there. So it was. I really wasn't trying to do anything. I mean, yeah, it was nice to get out front and lead a couple laps, but I did not have the intermediate run speed that Nathan and Brody had. I could towards the tail end of runs, I was running pretty similar lap times to Nathan, but he's so good in the middle of a run, and I don't know what to do here. And I literally was just like, all right, I'm just gonna pit here, and then we'll figure it out as we go along. And then I come out and I pass Nathan and Brody on pit exit, and I was like, oh, well, I guess we're gonna try and lead a lap now. This really wasn't in the game plan. It was more keep building the gap back to fourth place, but I'll take it. Let a lap, then good finish. I can't beat it. Pretty happy.
Absolutely. Paint scheme looks rocking here tonight, honoring your grandpa with the U.S. Navy paint scheme. Looks good. Looks even better on the podium as well. Shout-outs for you as usual.
Yeah. Well, oh, Jesus. Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I'm glad you brought that up. Was nervous about another special paint scheme one-off deal being run at Dover because obviously, as documented, last season's did not go well. So very happy to represent the Navy. I guess I'm going to start it off shouting out all the veterans and all the people that have, given their lives for this great country that give us the chance to do this on Tuesday nights and give us the chance to do whatever legal things we want to do on a day-to-day basis. Without those brave men and women, we wouldn't be able to do it. So shout out to them. Shout out to my grandma and grandpa. I know they're upstairs watching down on me. Probably not the most proud sometimes, but proud I could have a good run with my grandpa on my truck. It's really special to me. Shout out to my girlfriend, Allie. She's somewhere. I don't know where she's at, but she starts her clinical in a couple of weeks, so she's not going to have to listen to me yell and scream every Tuesday night, but she's incredible. I love her. She's halfway through grad school, so shout out to her. Shout out my parents for making me the man I am today. Tommy, get your head out of the gutter. Shout out this freaking cold I have too, pissing me off. And then so shout out my mom and dad. Shout out to the team. Shout out the team. That's important. This beautiful truck brought to you by Eric Breeding. I mean, he's got some of the sickest paint jobs in Venom, and I'm very happy to have ran this and again, represented the Navy well. Shout out Nathan, Garrett, Kyle, Luke. I have them all written down this week so I don't forget anybody. Paul Ellison. I mean, just a great team to be around. Love those guys. They keep my head straight on my shoulders and keep me going in the right direction. And these last 2 weeks, there should be 3 weeks with Bristol, but these last 2 weeks have really shown that the start of the season is not the driver I am, and we're going to finish it off strong. Shout out my little buddy RJ that watches my YouTube videos, but have not posted any in like 2 months, so he hasn't had anything to watch. But I'm going to send the link of the stream to him. And shout out Sean Schaefer, who gave me a job over the summer when I was broken, had no job. If you're watching, Sean's awesome. I wouldn't be able to race without him because he gave me my desk. So yeah, I think that's everybody. Shout out Tommy Cook. Shout out Tommy Cook. I couldn't get the win tonight. Had a good streak going when it was only one of you guys in the booth, but stupid Nathan guy had to ruin it. Who likes him anyways? And shout out Matt Williamson if you're watching. Matt, why are you not working? You bum. I hope it's nothing bad, but we miss you, Matt.
No, he's
miss you and love you.
All right. Well, there you go. John K is always the interview to beat of the night for sure. But
Yep.
More importantly, back-to-back podiums headed into the holiday break. Congrats here tonight on another one, and Merry Christmas to you and a Happy New Year. We'll talk to you again at the All-Star race.
Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and yeah, if I can't beat these guys on the track, so I got to beat them on the mic. You know how it is.
As always the winner of the promo, no matter what. John K. We'll talk to you again here soon.
Yeah.
Now we'll bring up your second place finisher, Brody Gunter, back on the podium here tonight after some tough luck here of late, but no luck needed here tonight when you can keep pace with Nathan Reynolds pretty much all night long. P2 finish, I would imagine in one sense it feels pretty good. In another sense, maybe a little bit disappointed just to finish just a couple of tenths behind him when you seem to have the pace on him there at the end.
Well, it feels great just finishing the lead lap finally. Again, it's been so long since I've been able to say that, but yeah, it was really cool to be able to finish that close to Nathan. A big improvement in my opinion from the last time we did Dover, where I told him he beat me by I think like 15 seconds.
Well, I mean, what did it come down to there at the end? Because it seemed to me that you were able to roll the middle quite a bit better there, but maybe you saw it differently. But regardless, what else do you think you needed to be able to catch up to Nathan there in the last couple of laps?
I mean, it was hard to tell. I felt like we had very similar pace. I mean, like iRacing was reading me out his lap times, and it was always within like a couple hundredths of a second. So I mean, I just feel like it just came down to possibly maybe a little track position, and just I think whoever had the clean air at the time. But I think it was definitely he was faster than me, hence why he won.
I don't think anybody had the advantage there in that last stint trying to work your way through lap traffic. It seemed pretty difficult for both of you. Teammates and associate teammates for both of you being in the mix aside. I mean, that looked like a bit of a nightmare there for a little while.
I mean, I actually enjoyed it. I thought it was fun to do that. I really get to do that for like an iRacing because you always have caution, so it was fun to go weaving in and out of traffic while we were battling for the lead. But yeah, it definitely was a little like tense at moments.
Well, this is a caution-free race here tonight, and pretty much in the green flag cycle sort of things once everybody got back around. I mean, you were hardly ever more than a second or a second and a half behind Nathan Reynolds all night here tonight. So take a bow for sure. It's a good comeback for you after a rough couple of weeks. And, I would imagine feeling pretty good here headed into the All-Star break, sort of shaking a little bit of bad luck of late.
Yes, sir, definitely. It was very cool to be able to say that was able to be a thorn in his side the entire race. That makes sense.
Oh, for sure. Shout-outs for you back on the podium here today.
I guess work in progress, CGI graphics, Mullet Music Productions, and Phone 200.
Well, thank you, partner. Congrats here tonight on the podium, and Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to you. We'll talk to you again in Lernerville.
Thank you. Same to you.
And from your second place finisher, we'll go to the driver who has now won 2 races in a row. It is the Intimidator himself, Nathan Reynolds. Was finally cleared to compete by the general manager here tonight after getting attacked backstage from what it sounded like before this race. But you get the win regardless. Congratulations here.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
Uh,
For Guy, I appreciate it.
Well, you can appreciate Matt, but appreciate him some other time because it's only.
Did he pay his bill?
Yes, he paid his bill. I made sure he paid his bill. So tonight, I mean, we expected you. This is a concrete track. I mean, really, you're just one crash away at Bristol from sweeping the concrete stretch that we have here. But I would say you were the favorite coming into tonight. Won the pole. I mean, you had a blistering pace all night. But the thing I don't think anybody expected was for Brody Gunter really to hang with you as close as he did all night long. Because he, outside of the pit cycles, he really did not leave about a second or a second and a half behind you. I mean, that has to be a little bit worrying here as this race rolls along, that you just can't seem to shake him.
Yeah, in a way it does. Clean air definitely plays a role that I know if I can hold on to it, I felt like I'd be okay. But Brody's no slouch. He does this in real life, so he's got a little extra something there, and he knows what he's doing. It's hard to shake Brody. It's nice to say you get a win over somebody to that magnitude, or anytime you're racing against someone that does it in real life here on the sim. It's really cool. But yeah, he definitely made me sweat. Brody's fast, as always.
The other component, of course, to concrete racing, no matter who you're racing against, is the tires. Keeping, I say a whole set of 4 tires underneath you, but really the right front tire in particular, I'm sure, is the focus, and trying to keep that alive for as long as possible, because it's just terminally sick here at a track like Dover. I mean, how do you do it? What's the secret? What's the secret sauce to that?
It's just not over rotating. It's the track is naturally going to chew up the tire, and the way Dover works, you fall off. You basically what is it? 3 stories you fall off going into the corner from the straightaway, something like that. Maybe a little less, but it's something pretty severe, and so the truck naturally wants to sit down on the nose whenever you lift off the throttle, and then you add that elevation change. It's even more so really wanting to plant that right front. So you got to find ways to keep the nose lifted up off the track. And Dover has, so this is a word I've used a couple times tonight, but this place has, after the refresh, you guys asked me last week about the change in the refresh, and I can notice a huge change this week here at Dover. This place has so much lateral grip now. It's just absurd. The truck just stays planted, and even with the rear of the truck kind of stepping out at times, coming off a corner or driving it with the right rear, as I like to say, it still just stays planted. It's almost like the next gen cars with the holes in the back glass that kind of keeps the rear end of the car on the ground. It's something similar to that effect, that it just plants. So when you got a truck that's just scraping the track like this, the tires just naturally want to chew off, and you got to find ways to keep from over rotating. It's a lot about corner speed here at Dover. You want to limit your corner speed, maybe drag a little brake through the center. And something I like to do whenever I turn into the corner on entry, the point that I have my steering wheel as I'm turning on entry, I try not to rotate past that throughout the middle and kind of let the truck naturally wash up. And that saves a little bit of tire temperature and wear throughout the corner. And then if you can back up your corner speed a little and generate a runoff, it seems to work well in the long run. And I think we kind of showed that tonight. And race really played into our hands, going green the entire way, and we were able to show our strength, stretch out our points lead, and now go into the Christmas break.
I was going to say, got to be feeling pretty comfortable here heading into the holiday break, heading into the All-Star break already. I mean, well over a race lead heading into this one. A dominant victory here tonight. A good night for Tyler Logan. And a clean night for everybody, but when the man everybody's chasing is being chased still during the race, not a good sign for the rest of the field headed into the halfway point of this season. But still 8 races to go. This season has been anything but predictable. But it's still the all-time winningest driver and the 3-time series champion walking away with the dubs here halfway into the season. Shout-outs for you once again.
Yeah, shout out my lovely wife taking care of the kids. Bentley ran in here tonight right before the first green flag pit stop. Did you see me almost tear the tire barrier down when I done my first pit entry?
Oh, yes, I did.
Oh, jeez, man.
Holy
So,
cow.
shout out to little Bentley. He came in here and was talking to me and hanging on my arm and had me distracted. And I'll blame him for that. But I was a little scatterbrained, and then go for my pit entry there, and I literally, the thought ran through my mind. I said, "This is it. I just killed the truck and somehow cleared that tire barrier. Thank God above." Shout out to him. Thank God that we didn't bend it there on lap 57, and thank him for letting me have the strength to sit through this. I bruised some ribs today and my tailbone, and cut my leg, and my arm fell out of a truck, and I'm pretty banged up and sore, but feel okay. Wind makes me feel a little better. Then, of course, Nitro Racing and RJ, a charity race coming up. I'm sure you guys have been sharing details and stuff about that, but appreciate my sponsors. And big thanks to my team, Alabama Gang, and everything that they do and all the information they provide through the week. I'm not really able to get into the sim like those guys are, and so they do a lot of the on-track testing and relay information, and then I try to bring what I can of my knowledge to what I'm getting from them and put it together. And I wish that I could do more, but I appreciate them and all that they do and provide for the team as a whole. And we've had good results, and I think we're still leading the team points, so that's pretty awesome.
Absolutely, partner. Go rest up. Go celebrate. Some combination of those two. Have yourself a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and we'll see you back here at Lernerville.
Thanks, guys. Y'all have a Merry Christmas as well.
And before we go here tonight, several drivers with special paint schemes that did not get to all of them throughout the course of the race, so I want to pick up the ones that I missed. Tonight, of course, was a race named the Military Service Members Home for the Holidays 145. And we showed some driver paint schemes in the warm-up session here. Want to showcase Luke Peterson's number 89 machine, carrying the colors of the United States Marine Corps, honoring his grandfather, Corporal Audie Peterson Jr., as well as his friend, Sergeant Mitchell Kyle. Mentioned Paul Ellison's wonderful paint scheme in tribute to his papa, who will be celebrating his 102nd birthday here tomorrow. So happy birthday to him once again. Ryan Dye, who you see there in perfect timing, tangling with John Kay. Ryan Dye running a United States Navy paint scheme tonight in honor of his great-grandfather, aviation metalsmith second class, Roy Shelton, who served during World War II above the USS Suwannee and the USS Shenango. So great-looking paint scheme there for Ryan Dye. Down the list here, I don't believe we took a look at Matt Schlosser's paint scheme. Schlosser paying tribute to his father with a United States Army throwback paint scheme there on top of his usual livery. And his father served in Vietnam. And I think the last one that I missed was Garrett Rainey, who is running a United States Air Force paint scheme to honor his brother, who celebrated 20 years of service in the United States Air Force here this year and is coming up on his 21st anniversary in just a couple of months. So thank you to all the drivers for running these beautiful paint schemes here tonight. And as always, whether you're active duty or have served in wars in decades past, we thank you all for your service and hope that everybody watching out there, all of your friends and family and loved ones in the armed forces will enjoy being home for the holidays. That is all we've got for you here tonight on Turn 200. Next time we will be in action will not be until Sunday. When we are back with the Mission Art Challenge, I believe it'll be another solo Sunday broadcast for me. It'll be from the Haraph Moto Circuit. deciding to be a ref. This is coming Sunday, but that is really the last time that we're going to be in action here for quite some time. Holidays, hope everybody has a safe and Merry Christmas. And Happy New Year, or whatever you celebrate. I hope you celebrate it well each year. And also have a Happy New Year. Next time we'll be in action here with the Venom Truck Series will be January the 2nd, where the All-Star Race will get dirty. Yes, indeed. We are going to Lernerville with the trucks for the All-Star Race. That is the dirt race on the calendar this season. This race, but we are going to get down to dirty at Lernerville. But that'll be the next time we have Venom Truck Series action here on a Tuesday night on Trends Running. We'll hope to see you then. But until we meet again, for everybody with the Venom Truck Series, from my partner, Mr. Matt Williamson, who's off living life, I'm Tommy Cook. Until we meet again, we say so long from Dover Motor Speedway, where Nathan Reynolds takes the final race of the concrete swing, takes himself back to victory lane at